From the lowest of valleys to the highest snow-capped mountaintops, Skyrim is filled with ancient ruins echoing its sordid and complicated history. What's going on, everyone? My name is Lurking Sun, and today I'll be covering the Dragon Cult of Skyrim. The Dragon Cult began on the ancient Nordic homeland of Atmora. The Atmorans worshipped many different animal gods. Chief among them were dragons, who were more than happy to step up as the rulers of mankind. Their servants became known as dragon priests, who kept the peace between dragons and men. They made laws for the society of men and were on par with kings. Grand temples were constructed to honor the dragons and appease them in both life and death, many of which still serve as Draugr-filled ruins to this day. Sometime, either during or after the migrations to Tamriel, the Dragon Cult began asserting more influence and became much more malevolent. From their capital, Brumanjar, what is now modern-day Labyrinthian, they ruled Skyrim with an iron fist, effectively enslaving the population of men. Man eventually rebelled during the Merethic era, which led to the Ancient Dragon War. An army of man, along with the help of a few unhappy dragons, eventually fought Alduin and secured victory through the use of an Elder Scroll. The dragon priests were overthrown, and the dragons were slaughtered in large numbers before fleeing to remote and unknown areas. Though they had lost their god kings and were cast out of mainstream Nordic society, the Dragon Cult managed to adapt and survive for centuries. Whenever they could lay hands on the remains of a dragon, they would build a tomb for it, known as a dragon mound, a practice they maintained for many years after the war. They believed that one day, dragons would return and reward their faithful followers. When the priests of the Eight Divines arrived to Skyrim in the First Era, they found it difficult to convert the Nords, as they had put apart their beliefs of both dragons and the Dragon Cult. Thus, they only knew the great dragon Akatosh as the elven god Oriel, whom they recognized as a demon. The missionaries were able to allay some of these concerns by claiming it was Alduin and those who followed him which acted against the wishes of Akatosh, and it was his intervention which led some dragons to assist men in the battle against their brethren. The Dragon Cult was known to have many great and elaborate temples across Skyrim and Solstheim. These temples were constructed in honor of the dragon priests, who were entombed within, eternally guarded by their Draugr servants. These temples were typically decorated with effigies to the ancient Nordic animal gods, these being the bear, dragon, fox, moth, owl, snake, whale, and wolf. The inner parts of these temples are often sealed by elaborate vault doors, each requiring a key in the form of a special dragon claw sculpture. Many of these dragon priests have achieved a form of lichdom, powerful undead beings made stronger by the dedication of their Draugr servants. They are now found residing in coffins throughout prominent areas of Dragon Cult worship. If their sleep is disturbed, dragon priests are known to burst from their coffins with considerable force, prepared to vanquish whomever intruded on their resting place. In their state of undeath, they lay idle, guarding the secrets of the word walls jealously. The highest ranking of these priests were granted magical masks that possess powerful enchantments, or affect time itself. The individual masks are made of various materials, and each bears the name of the priest who wears it. Now let's go over the priests we see in Skyrim, and the masks we'll need to gather. Hevnorak, meaning brutality in the tongue of the dragons. This mask is made of iron and grants the wearer complete immunity to disease and poison. Crosis, meaning sorrowful. This mask belonged to the priest Crosis, entombed atop Sheerpoint, a mountain in the Pale. The mask is made of iron and improves the wearer's skills in alchemy, archery, and lockpicking. Morokai, meaning glorious. Morokai is entombed in Labyrinthian, the ancient Nordic city of Bromanjar. He ties in heavily with the College of Winterhold questline. His mask appears to be made of a gray-colored metal while being improved with moonstone. It grants the wearer increased magicka regeneration. Nakrin, meaning vengeance. Nakrin was given the special task of guarding Alduin's portal to Sovngarde. The mask is made of ebony and grants the wearer with increased magicka regen, as well as casting destruction and restoration spells for a reduced cost. Otar. This mask belonged to Otar the Mad, a dragon priest entombed in Rangvald. His mask is made from malachite and grants the wearer resistance to elemental magic attacks. Ragot, meaning rage. This mask belonged to Ragot, the priest who led the last of the Dragon Cult at Ferelhost. This mask is made of orichalcum and fortifies the wearer's stamina significantly. Vokun, meaning shadow. Vokun was destroyed by the last Dragonborn, and a woman named Anska at Highgate Ruins. This mask is made of steel, and grants the ability to cast alteration, illusion, and conjuration spells for less magicka cost. Volsung. This mask belonged to a priest entombed in Volskeg. It's made of corundum, and grants the wearer the ability to breathe underwater, as well as increased carrying capacity and an increase to speech skill. Now that we have obtained all of the 8 main dragon priest masks, we must head to the ancient Nordic city of Bromanjar, also known as Labyrinthian. Here, we find an unnamed mask made of wood, which hums with an unfamiliar energy. Equipping this mask near the bust of the dragon priests will send the user back in time to what seems to be some time in the Merethic era. Approaching the busts and placing each mask upon its pedestal, one final mask is revealed to us, named Konarik. Konarik, meaning warlord. The owner of this mask is unknown, it being held in what was once the capital city of the Dragon Cult, along with needing this form of ritual, has led many to believe it belonged to a powerful and high-ranking priest. The mask itself is made of gold. When the wearer is near death, the mask has a chance to heal the user and damage nearby enemies, while randomly summoning a spectral dragon priest to aid the user. The Dragon Cult was a brutal stain on the history of Skyrim, but one which helped shape the hardy people who occupied these lands. The last of the Dragon Cult was wiped out when High King Harald laid siege to Ferelhost. The remaining members of the Dragon Cult committed Jonestown and drank the Kool-Aid. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this one. I thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.